Welcome, CommanderSmiths.
What the fuck? We are the CommanderSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowery Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
It's funny
because... Did you get, like, punched in the chest?
I was like, getting in
Welcome to the
character.
CommanderSmiths.
So I have my head down. And I brought it up. Welcome, CommanderSmiths. I don't know if you were looking at me.
That.
Yeah, because that's what I wasn't even looking. We do all this visual stuff, and I think we get, like, a 20th of the amount of people watching.
We get 4 people watching, and they're like,
yeah,
that's
what they're
that is good
about.
physical drama acting comedy stuff.
So seriously, watch us on YouTube because there's a lot of fun stuff that Lowery does. I do. I tried there and it didn't work because then you weren't even looking at me, so it didn't work out. This is episode 190. And we're getting close to 200, buddy. We got month and a half or 2 months, 2.5 months
episodes. Let's just wait.
Then we get to 200.
We could skip a week. We don't know that.
Yeah,
something could come up.
Yeah, maybe. We've only missed one in 190. That's
from what
bad.
I can remember. Yeah.
For our special 190th episode, what are we doing today, Lowery? You know, it's a special
something
one.
Very special. Okay. We got Stump the Smith Savant.
Mm-hmm.
We have Staple Versus.
Mm-hmm.
And the meat and delicious potatoes are
just the tips.
The tips. We're going to talk about how and what to buy, I guess. Just our purchasing.
Is it better to buy packs and boxes, or
singles?
to buy singles? Like, when is that the best time? Like, which kind of set or whatever, when you should be buying singles and all that? Because a little foreshadowing. Larry and I have not bought the boxes of the last 2 sets. And I don't know, did you buy a box of Strixhaven? You did buy a box.
Because
yes.
we were doing the boxing league, but
That's right.
like I regretted Strixhaven and Kaldheim.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the only reason we bought those. But with the last 2 sets, Adventures of the Forgotten Realms and with the new Innistrad Midnight Hunt, we did not buy boxes. And there's a breakdown of when you should buy boxes and when you shouldn't, because Modern Horizons 2, I bought a few of those. So there's some breakdown we have with that. So we're kind of giving you some tips of how to do things. And I know the guys at CMD Tower, they switched this year, because that was the last time I was on their cast. They were talking about how they swore off boxes and they were going to buy singles. And we're going to kind of tell you the times that those are a good idea to not buy that, and when you should be buying boxes and cracking packs. I love cracking packs, man. That's like,
I don't.
It's like a scratch-off ticket.
Yeah.
That you always lose.
Tickets. How do you? Yeah. But it doesn't make any
lose.
sense. We could. Okay, I guess we're saying this right now. Like there are people that really get high on the highs. Like, I won this or cracked that pack, and I am someone who remembers every shitty pack I've ever opened, and so I get like these really low lows where I'm like, fuck
Eeyore.
This.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Well, just like
Another
our battle boxes for the first year.
Yeah.
I remember those. They were fucking shit. They sucked.
Yeah, you got
sucked
your
real
ass
bad.
kicked. I think I was leading like 9-1, but then you made a comeback.
Might have been 6-1, but yeah.
Well, no, this was
still
then you made it. 6-1. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But then you made a comeback, and I think when we stopped doing that, you were only within like 1 or 2.
I want to say it was 6-4 at that point, but still, that's not enjoyable for me. Is to like not like, I'm even fine having like, if I had a good box but lost to you, that's fine.
Yeah,
but like most of them were just really bad boxes.
Yeah.
I'm like, not enjoyable.
That's one other thing I want to get into when we get to that segment. I don't want to bust my nut on this whole part right here, but there's an indication of how they changed how boxes are done. The amount of printings of each card really has just plummeted the normal box booster boxes, where they are not worth buying. And so that's kind of what I want to get into a little bit when we get into that segment. Let's wait for that, because we got a lot of other stuff. Well, one other segment to do first, and then jump into that.
How was your week? How was your week?
I went up to the cabin to see the fall colors, and all I got to see was clouds.
Clouds are beautiful too.
Yeah, it was explaining to a almost 7-year-old and 4-year-old like what fog is. As a meteorologist, I'm not that anymore, was a meteorologist, degree meteorology. It's hard because it's like, so the air can hold this much moisture, and when and that's your dew point, and when your dew point is the same as, what we're in right now, we're just in clouds. That's the easy answers. We are in clouds, and that is why it is all foggy. So that's they got it. I think.
Did they take it? They
were like,
accepted that
they
as an
want to
answer?
be a meteorologist. But yeah, so it was good.
They're like,
I mean, I showed them Twister a few weeks ago, and now talking about clouds, they're 100% going to follow it.
100% in there.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, it was good. Got to visit with the grandparents, saw what fall colors I could see from about 10 feet up, and that was about it. There was a lot of yellows. I think we were about a week late because I think my brother was up there 2 weeks ago, and he said the colors were just changing. So I think last weekend was the perfect weekend to be there. There was a lot of, we still hiked, and there was a ton of leaves on the ground. So that makes me think that everything kind of fell last week. Still really busy up there. But yeah, it was good. Good times. What about you? What'd you do this week? Lots of house stuff.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. You building a house, Lowery? Is that what you're doing?
I'm not. It feels like it.
Yeah. You're getting close, buddy.
You're
getting close.
Yeah, getting close.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll get there.
You're a rock star seller because you're getting the things that need to get done, and you're getting them done quick. You can tell that you've had rental properties and such because you have this checklist, and you're like, got this done, and you just fly through that. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
It's actually not all owners will necessarily do that. So that's nice to see. I know I congratulated you or complimented you on that before the cast, but you do a good job with that. So
thank you.
Oh, good for you. Damn it.
Oh, good for you.
So that's your week in a nutshell, pretty much.
That's going to be my week for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. It'll be nice when it's over. Are you guys packing up now then? Like
we started putting stuff in boxes, and we realized like diaper boxes are actually pretty small.
Yeah.
And so like they fill up real quick. I think I use like 4 boxes for the CDs and DVDs that we don't watch. And just like, okay, that's all of them that were in the basement. I'm done for the night. And then I'm just looking at like photo albums, and I'm like, we don't have any boxes right now that fit those. They're all too tall. So yeah, that's where we're at. We got a lot of toys gone so far.
Like
good.
Goodwill wise or packed up?
No. We've kind of did the Goodwill back in the spring/summer.
Oh, okay.
So now it's just kind of like
packing it all up, getting it all.
Yeah.
The stuff that isn't played with every single day kind of packed away.
Yeah, exactly. And making sure not,
you know what you do with that, dude?
What?
You wrap those up in boxes and have them open them again, because then it's like brand new freaking presents.
Back in the spring, I was like, oh, we're going to move into our new home before winter. So all of the kids' winter stuff is in a faraway stall.
I know that is.
And I'm just like, I hope it doesn't get too cold.
Yeah, right.
I'll feel real bad. And I'm probably gonna hold it out or dress my son in like 3-4 sweaters when he goes to school.
That's
we're gonna get all the winter gear, and he's not gonna fit any of it.
Yeah.
He'll be like, fuck, I should have bought him something.
That's what we did, because did I tell you I built a house a little while ago?
For like a year and a half, yeah.
Well, when we packed everything away in the storage, we packed the winter stuff in the back because they're like, this is going to be done in the summer, so we need to have our summer stuff in the front. Well, when winter came around and we still were in that camper, we had to buy all new stuff for ourselves, for the boys, everything. We had brand new snow gear, boots, and everything. So I have doubles of everything. I actually have lady snow pants because the guy snow pants were out at Walmart because it was late or something. So I have they're like flared on the bottom, but they're extra long. Yeah.
Fit your snow boots in them.
Yeah. I heard a beer crack. What are you drinking there? Is it a not sharing with Adam beer? Because I have a feeling that looks like the one on Twitter.
Yeah, so this is called Gravity Sucks by Modest Brewing and Walridge. But it's a double dry hopped New England IPA, and it's delicious.
Is it? Ooh, that's a cool looking can right there.
It's like a pigeon that's dying or something, right?
Well, I'm going to crack the one that I said that I was going to drink that you had this weekend. So I'm drinking a Bud Light Seltzer. We bought one of those little holiday packs. This one is let me take it out of the thingy. Toasted marshmallow. Now, I had a pumpkin spice one that I never finished. So that said a lot here. So we'll see how.
You're in trouble.
Let's see. Ooh.
Yeah, not bad, right?
A lot of that, but it does taste like a toasted marshmallow.
It really reminded me of like the flavored vodkas because it's clear too.
Yeah.
I guess all seltzers are clear. I don't know.
Yeah. No, they are.
Drink that shit. Okay.
Why did you drink it this weekend then?
Went over to a friend's. Not that I did anything this weekend, but he kind of split it among a couple people, and I took a small bit of it. I was like, no, I wouldn't kill myself for drinking it. So
yeah, it's not.
Well, that got dark. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not something I'll have two of, but it's something that I might.
I was happy to have like a quarter of it.
I kind of want to finish it so I can get to my. So I also do have
That's a tummy ache.
The one that grandparents pawned off to me because it was left at the cabin, but it's a light-hearted ale from Bell's. This one actually is pretty tasty. I just had that, so that's the only one I have there.
Yeah, the Bell's Two Hearted is a really solid one. Like more bitter and harsh, but it's good.
See, that has my beer taste, and I've mentioned it multiple times, has changed after doing the cast with you, especially when you used to bring beer every time we did the cast and do that. But I think that started it of me trying it. But what it does is it makes me sip longer. You know, otherwise before it was Northeast, and Northeast is like water to me, where it's just like, yep, it's like, oh, I'm dehydrated. Just got done with a big 5-mile run. I need this Northeast to just refreshen myself. But now I like the stuff that has a little more. I would never drink a bitter or hoppy or anything like that, but now I prefer those because then I chill with it a lot longer.
Sip.
Yeah. So
sip.
Okay. Let's get into the cast. We're not at the 20-minute mark, right?
Tags.
Okay. So really quick, where did I put my tag sheet? Oh, it's underneath there. We do have a new patron. You can become a patron as well, but we do have a new patron this week. I got to get to my button there. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try this here. Hunter Kresh. I think it's Kresh. Kresh. Hunter K. Kid can't even read. You can give me that button first? Hunter K.
One,
Kid can't even read.
two.
So Hunter K.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
It's so fantastic. I don't even like when I like do the send out of like the patron pick stuff or the proxies. I have on there like because it's a copy paste, but then I edit and whatever. Anytime I put meat forest, I'm like, this really should say meat forest. I don't know why it should be changed. It should be changed into meat forest.
I think it's confusion right now. And it's such an old joke at this point. I think that joke was first year. That's when you made your Niv Miz at Peru.
Yeah, so it's funny.
That was forever ago.
I did when I was doing the Diablo streaming 2 weeks ago or whatever, or a week ago or whatever. I said meat forest in there, and I immediately was just like regretting that I said it because I was like, if anybody's watching that's a Diablo person and not like following the cast, they'd just be like, what the fuck is he talking about, a meat forest?
That sounds so gross.
So, okay. All right. You can become a patron too, just like Hunter Kresh. $1 gets you in the Discord.
One,
I saw your arm moving.
Sorry.
You know what you always do.
I can't even.
What you always do at the end of the cast, what you should be doing in the middle, is changing your voice. I'm just giving you a reminder on that. Just an FYI. Waiting.
No, we're good.
Oh, gross. That's almost too deep.
This is not the deep one.
Oh,
this is like the dynamic one.
Demonic. You sound like that's how I picture Garuk to sound. maybe.
What about this one?
Oh no, that one's definitely.
Feels good to laugh. You don't get to do that down here as much often.
I might have started something I shouldn't have started. Okay, so you can become a patron. $2 more gets you in the Discord, gets you a shout out. $5 or more, we just started all the new tier stuff. So basically $5 or more gets you proxies of the week. If you get up to that $10, $15, $20 tiers, when you start to get the foils.
And they look sweet. All right, I'm done.
Sorry, you look sexy. And then if you're
That's my baby voice.
That is the baby voice. Yeah. And then if you're $100 or more lifetime current member, we will start to make a shout out board at the beginning of the YouTube cast. So that's something there. Speaking of YouTube, that is the free way to support the show. You can jump on there, just subscribe to the channel. That's the first thing you do. The other thing is check out our videos, like them, interact with us there we get so much more interaction there than we do on Twitter. So if you want to interact and you're on Twitter as well.
1 to 2 comments versus 0.
Yes, that's 1 to 2 times. No, 2 to 0 times. Yeah, whatever. Math.
We shouldn't do any times when it comes to 0.
So the key is to just like, subscribe. The biggest thing is like on those shorts, like Curated MTG, which was today. Very interesting topic, by the way.
Yeah, I do remember this one. Haha. Talking about adventure cards. So go check out the video still, because I do a couple of different cards, but the new card Lear, Disciple of the Drowned, that gives all creatures or all instants and sorceries flashback in your graveyard. Now, that type of card allows you to flashback adventure cards. And it's a little confusing.
So you can play
adventure cards,
the other side of it. So if it's an instant, can you play that side of it?
Yep, that's what you're able to do.
Nice.
And so, but the ruling on adventure cards are that they are creatures in everywhere except for on the stack. And so
interesting.
There's like a kind of a workaround a little bit when it comes to like Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
It targets, and targeting an adventure card is a no-go because it's a creature. And so, but when there's a card like Lear, it's just saying in general, instants and sorceries have flashback. And for some reason that fucking works.
Okay. And you did check,
so,
with people as well, with the judge and all that stuff.
This was a long, like actually talking with a judge, and he totally thought it did not work anywhere. And then I showed him a tweet from a higher up judge, and he's like,
this one's
this person.
This is a higher judge.
I need to go ask some question. Yeah. I mean, he's just, I think he's level 1 or level 2, but this is like a well-known judge that I don't know, but he was like, this is super weird. And he totally flipped it. And he was just like, I need to go talk with more people on this. It comes back like a half hour. He's like, okay, this works, but this is kind of why. And it's not supposed to work, but it does. So accept it and move on with your life. So I made a video about it, and probably didn't help with any clarity, but
no, but that's interesting.
Just so you know. Yeah.
You had him learn something today. The more you know.
It was like a week or two ago. I just had to get my hands on Liar. So.
Liar. Okay, so Curated twice a week. Those are on, you can see the Curateds on Mondays and Fridays. Another bit we do during the week is the Proxy Time video lives. Those appear on Sundays. This last Sunday I did 2 proxies. One was Teferi and the other one was Ren and 7. It was interesting. Ren and 7, I was going to use the full art. I had the full art and the regular art pulled up. And from the cards, I like the full art one better. But just because it's full art. But then when I made the full art of the regular art, if you're following me, that one turned out fantastic. And so I just stuck with that one. So I had in the game plan to do both, but I just stuck with that one because it just looked really good.
So are you saying that you could do a better job of taking away borders than whoever they hired to do it?
Well, because it's different arts, it's not the same. It's different arts. Okay. Like the full art is has a pumpkin, or she, I've learned while doing the live. We had some people on there that were talking. She has a pumpkin where she doesn't have it. She has lanterns in the card art one. And then
Okay.
also the full art, it looks like she's wearing like big Uggs because the tree feet like just kind of are furry, and it looks
Are
like
they
she
still
is.
sponsored by Tom Brady?
I don't. Uggs? I didn't. Were they really?
I think he was.
Oh,
Yeah, I think he
really?
was.
That's funny. So, anyways, that turned out nice. And then the weirdest thing that happened in the video was I took from Scryfall and I was saving it, and then I'm going to edit it. Like normally, I take the text box and move it over. And as I zoomed in, all the words were smudged. And so then I
that's
went
weird.
back to Scryfall and I started picking out all the different art. And every time I saved it, all the words were smudged. And then I went to Google, and anything was pulled was smudged or blurry. Like if you took the full art version of Teferi, it was blurry. If you took out the other ones, they were all smudged with all their words. So then I was like, did they
Interesting.
like purposely do this? I just think they got a bad scan. So anyways, I figured out a way to make that work and all that. So it ended up being a lot longer than I wanted, but turned out pretty nice. So anyways, that's on Sundays. Video and the proxies come out later in the week. And then if I have time, I try to get the short in. So shorten one of those up to a quick video. So that's YouTube. Jump on Twitter. That's where you can follow us there and see all the stuff we post about videos. Not Sharing with Adam, I guess, is back again. And then the switcheroo, MTG switcheroo, which Lowery has been doing pretty good. And then you can direct message us there, or you can shoot us an email. I'll be looking at that. That's the place you guys can send the
At
stuff-
CommanderSmiths.
at CommanderSmiths@gmail.com. That's the
I was
way
trying to-
where you can send us suggestions for Stump the Smith Savant, which, by the way, Stump the Smith Savant this week. Yeah, right now.
Right now.
But right now, or not right now, the prize is up to what is it? We have. This is going to be the 7th week, so in 2 more weeks we will jump up to a 3rd prize if they can't stump you. And right now we have Esper Sentinel and that
Augur
guy.
of Autumn.
Foil Augur of Autumn, and on the other side, Esper Sentinel right there. So.
I'll bet you are terrible at Halo.
No, I was remember I was a meteorologist. I'm supposed to
know.
know how to do the green
You
screen and I
are.
don't, and I'm going the wrong way with it. Like I'm like, here's the camera, and then I bring it off screen. No, I did it the right way. Anyways, fucking anyways, all right. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right, if you don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of the card. Larry's going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He only gets 3 clues and 5 wrong guesses. If he gets 5 wrong guesses, whoever's stumped this week will win the prize of Esper Sentinel and Augur of Autumn, or Autumn of Augur.
Who
Augur of Autumn.
Who is this week?
And this week comes from Ted.
Ooh.
Ted Steiner. Hang on, I got to get to the questions there. And I messed up last week, or I did my video. Every week when I'm doing the proxy time, I get to like signing off. I'm like, all right, thanks for watching, blah, blah. And then I'm like, oh wait, I got to do the drawing. This week I did the whole sign off, hit end, and then I was like, fuck, damn it. So then I just had Cindy. I'm like, Cindy, just draw one. I don't want to even look. Just draw. All right. So this one comes from Ted. So this one's going to be tough. This one's going to be tough.
Oh.
All right. Here we go. I am the mad one. That is it.
That is it.
I am the mad one. I think your clues are going to be your key to even get this one.
I am the mad one. Okay, so let's break this down a little bit. I makes it's gonna be a Cyclops. And
Not that kind of eye.
what's that?
Not that kind of eye. I am the mad one.
Okay. All right. That's not dealing with these eyes. I am the mad one, and they're very angry. Very angry. Probably crazy. Okay. Going with crazy. crazy tends to be maybe a red card if I'm going with that one, but depending on where the set is from, it could be a lot of things. Like you got Mad Scientists and Innistrad that are like blue-black or blue-red. So let's start off with a clue.
Clue? All right.
Yeah.
Nothing is safe from this card.
Nothing is
safe from this card.
From this card. I am the mad one. Nothing is safe from this card. Nothing is safe, which means that it's being aggressive towards cards. It wouldn't be like a defensive card. Like it's not Theros protection. It's not,
But
something.
nothing is safe. Everything.
Nothing is safe. It could potentially mean that it's like destroying or exiling everything, which there's a few cards there. Which puts it like the new unbanning. I don't know that. I don't know if it'd be at 5,000 decks now, but Worldfire, which is a red one. And because that goes after your life total, lands, hand, graveyard, goes after everything. And then there's the other card that's similar to that, which is Reserve List. Jockle Hops. I don't think that's it though. But we're into red. And then
So far
also,
you're thinking
we're
on the
talking
flavor
instants or sorceries.
red, and on that clue you're thinking still red.
Yeah, still think that it's red. And this makes me feel like it's not a permanent of any type, so it's going to be like instant or sorcery. I would like to hear another clue.
The original art always, and this is kind of a personal preference thing, but I think it could give a big clue to this. But the original art always reminds me of Star Wars, and that original art has been printed 3 times, including the first printing, the original.
So
art.
Can you repeat that clue?
So the art itself, and that's the hard part about this is, I think I've said it before when we've talked about this card, that it always reminds me of Star Wars just because of what the picture is showing. Something in it that's happening always reminds me of Star Wars. The third clue is going to really help you out if that didn't. I feel bad that I gave that one, but it's just how I got the feel on that one.
So, but you're saying that like the art has been printed 3 times, or that's the second one? I got confused on that part.
Oh, so
or is that extra?
That art specifically has been printed 3 times. It has actually a total of 5 different arts.
5 different arts?
Yeah, I didn't realize it. That it had so many.
2 minutes later. So it's 5 different arts.
Yeah.
The first one is 3. That's Star Warsian.
The art reminds me of Star Wars, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
You want the third clue? Third and final clue? Then you can start working your way through all this.
See, no, that second one totally fucked with me. I don't understand that at all. And you're saying that we've talked about this before?
Mm-hmm. Third clue is going to give you the set is originally from, and I will give you the flavor of that.
I am the mad one.
Mm-hmm.
I am the mad one.
It's a hard one. It's very difficult.
Okay, I'll take that third clue.
Okay. Set it comes from is Apocalypse, the original set. But the original flavor text is, "Don't mourn for me. This is my destiny. Gerard." Ooh. Ted, you might have Lowery on this one. And Ted didn't give me like clues to give on this. I'm just giving you all these. Or he did. He gave me the that it's from Apocalypse was the main thing, and I added a little bit more into there. So
It's from Apocalypse.
Apocalypse, that flavor, which is the original flavor. Don't mourn for me. This is my destiny, Gerard. This flavor that I'm reading is I am the mad one. The first clue is nothing is safe from this card. And then the second clue is original art. Always reminds me of Star Wars. The picture in it just reminds me of Star Wars. I realize that it might not do the same for you because it's a preference. You know, it's a visual thing. And I thought I've said it before, and that's why I was contemplating even saying it, but I thought I had mentioned this with this card.
All right. So I just need to start thinking about like good cards from Apocalypse, I guess. Apocalypse. And that's the
Kind of like a
mask.
yeah, maybe is that what it is? I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, that looks like a mask. Yeah, 2 eyes. It looks like a crying mask, like a clown mask.
Yeah.
And then an open chin. So
Yeah.
Apocalypse card that nothing is safe from. Original art reminds me of Star Wars. And the flavor text says, don't mourn me, for this is my destiny, Gerard. And then I am the mad one. Those are your clues.
I am the mad one. I am the mad one. I am the mad one. Ooh. Okay, let's start trying to break this down a little bit. It makes me feel like this is a white card, actually. So and I was pretty sure that it was red, so I'll do a double here. Is this a white and or red card?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. And then let's make sure on the other one. Is this a instant and or sorcery card?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. So we know that it's an instant or sorcery and it's a white or a red card. Apocalypse. I don't have a lot of good cards. So not a lot's popping in my head. Apocalypse has a lot of multicolored cards in it too, kind of like a sub-theme there. So like there is potential this is like a white blue or a red blue, you know, like something mixed in there. But it's a wrath. It's guaranteeing this is what could be thrown. I'm not going to guarantee shit. It's destroying everything. It's nothing is safe, which makes me feel like it's destroying. Does the word destroy show up in its text?
Hello, boobies.
So right now in my mind, it feels like it's 4 colorless, 2 white, sorcery, and Gerard is there. But so it's making me feel like it's white, but I haven't done anything to justify that it's white or not. Okay, but it doesn't matter. Okay.
You got
First
5
shot
to
at
get
being
wrong.
Yeah. First shot at being wrong. Is this a white card?
Hello, boobies.
All right. Is this a sorcery card?
Hello, boobies.
Look at you
Okay.
knocking it out. But you still don't know what it is.
Yeah, I have no idea. Okay. So we know it's a white card, we know it's a sorcery, we know that it destroys probably everything. But it doesn't affect lands. There's no way that there's a card in there that affects lands.
Nothing is safe from this card.
Star Wars? Wars?
Original art always reminds me of Star Wars.
Star
and
Wars?
Original printing Apocalypse
There's
flavors
5
don't
different arts?
mourn me, for this is my destiny. Gerard. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
5 printings and there's 3 with. There's 5, 6, there's 7. There's at least 7 printings of this card.
1, 2.
Don't count. Don't count.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
And then they change the art on it every time.
Well, no, because it has at least 3 printings with the same art. Including,
Yeah. It'd be
yeah.
5 different, so it's
Yeah.
3 plus 4, which is at least 7. At least. Which doesn't mean that it wasn't reprinted other times as well. So it's at least 7. Which means that it's probably in a commander sets to get reprinted that many times. I feel like there might be cycling or that instant speed one, like something like Route.
Well, didn't
Does-
you already establish it's a sorcery?
That's not what I. Maybe I don't know. No, I meant it. In
You're
my
saying
mind, like,
cycling might be in with
there,
it. You're
there
saying
might be cycling, but there's also a sorcery that destroys a ton of shit that you can pay 2 more to make it an instant.
Hmm.
And that's like Cataclysm or something, but that doesn't have that many reprints. So in my mind, it's Route. Is this Route?
Wrong.
One wrong.
One wrong. I think Route was the one that gives instant. That's the instant one.
Checking as you're.
Does the how long have we been going for? Way too long. This is suspenseful.
Well, now you don't have any more clues, so it's all.
I am the mad one.
Oh, Route is the one that you were thinking of, though. It is the 2 white, 3 color sorcery. Destroy all creatures that can't be regenerated. You can pay 2 to flash it. And
Okay, so that was the instant speed one, like I was saying. So there's a cycling one. What would that be? I am the mad one, which would be a newer version of it. Oh, maybe? Maybe? Was she in that? That was Legions. That's like that time frame. I'm really shitty at that. Okay. Let's see here. Was this printed, or do you have like the sets pulled up?
yes.
Was this also printed in M20 or not M25, but Masters 25?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. I'm close. So
Yeah? You're
this
on?
is casting cost is 4 colorless, 2 white.
Are you
Question-
asking
not-
that?
Yeah, that is. That's yeah. Is it?
Wrong.
2. You're guessing the right set. Like it was Masters 25. Masters 25. It's a white card. It's a sorcery. I'm trying to think of other things you've determined.
Is there? Okay, so like just to either get it off my mind or not, is one or many of the arts have a chroma in it?
A chroma is the.
Is like the Battle Angel that was like 6/6 first strike flying haste. You don't know.
I know who you're talking about.
Like
but
purple hair. Purple hair.
No,
haired angel.
I mean I gotta give it this.
Wrong.
No. You're gonna figure out a reason why I was hesitant on that.
So I got 3 wrong so far.
You got 2 more wrong guesses.
Okay, because I was gonna say a Chroma's Vengeance at that point, but clearly a Chroma's on the card. And if she's not,
White card, sorcery
the
from Masters 25 from Apocalypse. Original printing, that was Apocalypse, and Don't Mourn for Me, This Is My Destiny, Gerard. Nothing is safe from this card. That one's probably my biggest giveaway for that. And then this one, I guess, doesn't matter. I guess I thought I mentioned that's why I had that as a clue, but reminds me of Star Wars.
It doesn't make any sense.
A few minutes later. Oh, I don't know if I
We're
want to turn
blown
that
out there.
I'm gonna keep the music off because we've gone through it like 3 times already.
Yeah.
So.
Understandable. I'm fucking struggling.
Okay, let's recap really quick. It is a sorcery. It is a white card. The flavor text is "I am the Mad One." The original flavor text is from Apocalypse, and it reads, "Don't mourn for me. This is my destiny." Gerard. Nothing is safe from this card, and the picture of the original art and the 3 other times it was printed reminds me of Star Wars, which is just a feels I get, so that doesn't really help you necessarily, and it doesn't obviously. So it's a garbage clue. Gonna hear it from the Discord with that one. Adam with his bad clues.
So like I said, I feel like it's a Chroma's Vengeance, but you're saying a Chroma's not on the art, which should have been. It's an M25. What the fuck? All right, I got 2 clues left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
No, 2 wrong guesses left.
2 wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Elish Norn is on route. And so that's not going to help me narrow it down. I swear to fucking God, this is a Chroma's Vengeance. Well, let's just get this out of my brain. Is it a Chroma's Vengeance?
Wrong.
Fuck.
Last one.
Because that's the one with cycling. Pretty sure that's the one with cycling. Pretty sure I shouldn't have asked the 6 mana one question. It's a white card from Apocalypse, sorcery. It destroys. Nothing is safe.
Chroma's Vengeance, you are correct, is the one with cycling.
This has been printed a shit ton. It's Apocalypse. It's not Wrath of God. So this is gonna destroy creatures, artifacts, enchantments, and potentially land. Chroma's Vengeance does all of that except for the land part. So would they? That doesn't mean that a Chroma's Vengeance is in Apocalypse. I don't think it is at this point.
No, I don't think it is. Nope, it is not.
So this is something else, and this is. I wonder if I already said it. But Cataclysm hasn't been reprinted that much. But it hits everything. It gets like you just choose one of every permanent type pretty much, and it has a ship, which would be Star Warsian thing. It just doesn't have that many printings. I don't think it's in M25. I don't think Armageddon was an M25, but how the fuck did I guess M25 now?
I don't know how you got M25.
Or Masters 25. That's ridiculous. That did not help me. That's fucking with me now.
Yeah. I was surprised. I was like, oh, he's on it. Well, Chroma's Vengeance is from Masters 25.
That's what I was thinking it was.
Yeah, but you didn't guess the Chroma's Vengeance. Didn't you guess Route with the M25 guess?
I did. Well, it was both. I was assuming that
that
was both.
Yeah. Because I was going to say Route did not appear in Masters 25.
Yeah, I messed up like 3 questions. I should have just gotten off a Chroma's Vengeance because that was the Chroma in the art and the mana cost. And then I just wasted the name. So I fucked up 3 bad questions. Should have just been 1 and gotten off of it. hits everything. Cataclysm wasn't in Masters 25. No, it just wasn't.
I'll read through everything once again because you have one last guest. I am the mad one, the original flavor text. Ted, you're going to probably get him on this one.
I think you are. I might.
Nothing is safe from this card. Original art always reminds me of Star Wars. The original printing is Apocalypse, and with that, the flavor text is "Don't mourn for me. This is my destiny, Gerard." We know it's a sorcery. We know it's a white card. And I think and we know it's from Masters 25.
And we know that it says destroy, which is not
Yes,
Cataclysm.
and destroy.
Cataclysm would sacrifice. Okay, get off that. Get off. It's not Wrath of God. It's not. It's in over 5,000 decks. We know that.
Yeah. Quite a bit.
I mean,
more.
for the sake of time, we've been doing this for probably like 20 minutes now.
Yeah, we're gonna have a whole podcast to stump the Smiths around at this point.
Fuck. Okay, let's. I give up. I lose.
Oh, Ted, you win, buddy. You get 2 cards. You want to know what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
So, what other hints can I get? It's destroy target permanent. Does that help at all? And it is not only a white card,
It's a
but
black
it is also
card.
a black card.
God damn it.
And the newest
Yeah.
one is from Modern Horizons 2, and that is the flavor text they use. And that's where I got confused with the Achroma because it has an angel in it. And I was like, fuck, I don't know if it's a chroma or not. But then once you said purple hair, I was like, nope, she has white hair. I can see it right now. So it is Vindicate.
It's
is the card.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Hey, congratulations, Ted. You got him. You got him. I thought you would get this one just because Vindicate has been one of your cards. But do you remember the
do.
Star Wars thing, what I was saying? And
yeah,
I realized,
once you say Star Wars, now it's like a ship being blown up, and
I know, isn't it the Weatherlight
get it.
or something like that? That now that I'm looking at it, it's like it looks like the Weatherlight stuff or whatever, the ship. But it looks like every time I see that picture, I'm like,
maybe,
Star
I think
Wars.
it
It reminds me of one of the fighter things or whatever.
I don't recall you ever saying that, but with you saying Vindicate, then yeah, I see it.
That was tough,
Nice
dude.
job, Ted.
Yeah,
Nice
you
job.
got him.
God.
Yeah, it was tough. Dude, I thought you had it because when you did the Masters 25, I was like, oh, he's on track.
That so fucked me. I should, like I said, I spent too much time on Achroma's Vengeance in my head, and I should have just kept on going.
I would say that with this is the first time I've seen like a card kind of get locked in your head and you can't get it out until you guess it, basically. So it's kind of ruining how you normally do. But it was also, this is a hard one. This came off of Modern Horizons 2, and you can only see the flavor text of that.
It was a really, really good choice. It has a ton of printings, but it's not in any Commander stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it had a lot of really good, like, keys, but like were misleading.
Yeah.
So
and
it was very good. Nice job, Ted.
So, all right. So
let's move on. Let's move on. Right.
We will have another prize to give away. We'll probably discuss that and reveal that next week. So turn in your answers again, or your questions to try to stump Lowery. Either email or direct message me if you're on the Discord. All right. So now we get into our main topic.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or ouch, you're on my hair.
All right. So just the tips. What we were talking about. What are we talking about, Larry? What are we talking about?
How do you purchase cards? How do you acquire them? That's pretty much it.
Well, I mean,
pretty much it, right? How do you want to? How should you be doing it?
Yeah, I guess what we've kind
What's
of
the better clickbait?
What's the better clickbait? I think the best clickbait is should you be buying? When should you be buying packs? When should you buy in singles? Is kind of the idea here. Is what I was thinking. Is more. I guess this is more prevalent in the now over the last couple of years that they have what we've been talking about and discussing, how many printings they have of each freaking card. There's like 7, 8, 9, 10 different printings. What that has done, which is a good thing, but a bad thing at the same time, is it makes all these cards gettable, like as a set comes out. But it also plummets your box. Like when we used to do our battle boxes, dude, we'd spend $100 on those. And these days, those $100 boxes, we'd be lucky to get like $30 in value. I mean, that's just how they're looking at this point, especially if you look at it 6 months out. If you don't hit those top 7 cards, you're out of money, you know, if you don't sell them or move them.
So I think what you're saying is don't buy standard boxes.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's get into that.
Okay.
Because I agree.
Yeah.
Fully. Standard is not something that you want to be buying packs or boxes of, or collector boxes, or set boxes.
I don't think you buy any of it.
It's not worth it.
I mean,
it's
even
not worth it.
So I will do an oh good for you. You give me the oh good for you. I'm not gonna give it to myself, but I did.
Oh, good for you.
I do like to buy the bundles of, or AKA fat packs of the standard sets and stuff like that, just because I like having those boxes for that's how I store my specs in. And I did buy this one, and I pulled Ren and 7 and Teferi in that box, which is probably the best fat pack. Yeah, thank you.
Good for
that I've ever opened. So that was good, but I wasn't expecting it. I was like, okay, here's $40 out the window. Whatever. I want this box. I'm paying $40 for the box and the lands is basically it. But other than that, like, dude, the value of these just sucks. Like even collector boosters, like when those first came out, I was like, yeah, collector boosters are the way to go, but not with this stuff. Like it's just.
Well, the thing is that like standard sets just aren't super powerful, right? And so you only have, like you're going to say your breakdown, but there's only a handful of really good cards. And like, let's go with Strixhaven. I bought a set box. I got one of the dragons.
Yeah.
And that was the most expensive card I got in the box it was the most expensive card at $10. And I at least liked Strixhaven, so I felt like I got a lot of cards that I wanted, so it didn't feel like a total waste or anything.
They had the mystical archives with Strixhaven.
Yeah, they did a really good job there. But mine were shit. My best one was a foil Tendrils of Agony for $2.
Yeah.
And
it's probably like 30 cents at this point.
And so like but it's still, I got cards that I wanted, right? Like a Brainstorm Mystical Archive is cool. Lightning Bolt is cool. Like those are, I was happy that those were there. And so like those little cool things that they're doing is helping a ton. But my list cards were garbage, and I'm buying set boosters.
Right.
I bought it for that and Keldheim. So, and I think another thing that we should talk about is this is from a perspective of value,
right?
Almost purely value.
You're right.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
So like if you're
value.
just trying to diversify your collection and grow them, I don't think there's any problem with, or if you're a standard player, I don't think there's any problem with buying a box.
Right.
You can probably hunt it out, but generally when you're hunting it out, you're already getting there in inflated prices. So it's kind of like buying the uncommon that's $4 at a, you might have gotten 2 of them in a normal box.
Right.
So you don't have to chase as hard. So, there are different perspectives, and we're coming from just like purely value based and commander playable cards. And standard cards, just the standard sets aren't just not going to have that.
Yeah. The thing is like we used to do before the podcast, you and I would get a box almost of every set that came out. We would buy a box mainly of the standard. We didn't do a lot of the non-standard stuff because it'd be out of our price range at that time, so it was just standard stuff. I don't know, even then, maybe we might have still done it, but man, the prices of stuff, I just probably wouldn't just because of the amount of printings with stuff has just really made it garbage. I mean, like you mentioned, there is really only like 2 to 4 chase cards in it. And when I did my breakdown here, that's $5 and up of cards that are value. There's probably only 4 cards that are like.
Well, go over it. What did you?
Okay, so we're just going to do the standard side. Then we're going to talk about special sets in a second here.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with, let's work our way back and come forward. So Strixhaven, like Lowery, we were just talking about. Strixhaven right now, you can get a box of that. And now we're talking about draft boosters. I didn't break down the set boosters.
Sure,
Let's go to draft boosters, cheapest way. $104 a box. That's just to get the box. Right now, the $5 or more, there are only 7 cards that are $5 or more in that entire set. So you can get the top 7 cards in that set for $58. Or you can buy a box for $104 and not, you'll probably hit maybe one of those. If you're lucky, hit one of those. So
yeah, and I think that's a good point to point out too, is like, it's rare and mythic heavy that I am looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And like commons and uncommons, just I'm not using a ton of them unless they're, really, really, really good. Preordained, Ponder, not even fucking Lightning Bolt.
Yeah.
But it's so it's competing against those kind of cards.
Yeah.
And it's cool to have something that's different. But I can just go buy those as singles super easy. And I don't want a ton of them at this point because I have a whole cabinet full of boxes of bulk.
That is an excellent point. It reminds me of what I was.
But I like that too. So
yeah, but that does bring up a good point though, that we've been doing this for years and years and years and years and years. And I don't know if this years and years and years now has turned into where I'm finally hit a tipping point where I'm like, God damn it, I don't want 15 of this now. Like, cause now I'm like more trying to consolidate down to things that I use and not all these boxes that are sitting behind me of just garbage stuff that I'm not going to use. And so maybe that's maybe the old Magic player in me, is that now I'm like, why continue to buy these boxes when I'm only going to use about 6 or 7 cards out of this box? And it might not be the 6 or 7 that I want. And all the rest is just going to go to my garbage stuff, not in the garbage. I still keep every single card, but
you do. It's
just, it doesn't make sense now. And like you just said, if I want those other ones, just go buy the singles for pennies on the dollar. It's not that big of a deal. So right there, $58 gets you the top 7 cards in Strixhaven. Let's move to D&D. There's a little bit more. That's a more recent set, 3 months old. 16 cards make it over $5. That gives you a value of 161. So this kind of giving you a little indication. The further you get out, the more the cards will go down. The one thing I'm now realizing as I'm talking, I did not factor in the mystical archives to Strixhaven, which I should have done. That would bring that value up a little bit more. Because each pack
that's where
had
you're like
one in.
learning about like, okay, what's good, what's not, what's worth it.
Yeah.
And so like Strixhaven packs were really cool because of that.
Yeah.
But like opening the set boosters, like if the mystical archives weren't in there along with the list cards, I didn't even get, my best list card was Memnite.
Yeah.
At like $4. And I have 4 of them. So like that's the problem with the list cards. Like they're really cool for people that haven't been around for a while, but every list card that I've gotten, I have.
Right. And that,
that's
a side note to the Commander product to me now. Like, especially with these side ones, not the main Commander set that they come out with. The fact that they have, and we've talked about this in recent weeks, is the Commander product being in every single one of these. I have all those cards except for the new ones that they print. And so it's like, do I want to spend $160 or whatever it is and buy all the Commander stuff and then get all the duplicates that I already have? Or do I want to spend $60 and just get all the new cards and then
get all the singles that you want?
Yeah.
Here's the thing that I think I would want to point out right now is that if you're holding on to those, like the bulk, if you have a ton of soul rings that you're holding on to, they're tanking.
Yes.
Command Tower's already tanked. You know,
Soul
Arcane
Rings don't
Signet's
do what
not
they
gonna be
do.
worth much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arcane
And
signets are
so-
going to continue to be printed.
If you're able to find any sort of value in trades or credit or whatever, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Because the market is flooding with those really cheap, but we're still commanding prices. Staples, those like the market's just getting flooded with that kind of stuff
Yeah.
right now.
And-
And so understand that's what a commander set is going to be doing. You know, 4 of them every 3 months.
Yeah, there's
You're gonna
too
be able
many.
to get-
There's too many of
Yeah.
those on there. And to reiterate what you said when we started this is, if you're a new player and you don't have these cards, these are fine.
Great.
Just get them. Get them.
Absolutely fantastic.
Get all the command. If you're a new player, get every single fucking commander product that comes out, because you're gonna get your inventory, your toolbox is gonna greatly increase every time you buy those, and they're good cards. Now, if you're a player that's
Intervention, you know, like they had, you know, the talismans, they had a lot of really good value in there. And even if their prices kind of tanked, they're still good cards.
Mhm. So
And so
we're not
like, if
saying
you're a new
they're
player in
bad.
the last year or 2, 3,
Yeah.
even, like, go for it.
get it. But what we're
For sure.
kind of giving you tips on is, if you have a lot of these cards and
chill.
the set,
chill on
just
it.
wait a little bit. So let's jump up. Midnight Hunt, you know, that's a little cheaper. So Dungeons and Dragons you can get for 107 for a draft booster. Midnight Hunt's at 95 right now, and there's 17 cards. So one more better card than Dungeons and Dragons. But the card value of $5 or more is at $193 of value there. What that's telling you is this set just came out and everything is way the fuck overpriced.
Yeah.
And you have a couple really top cards there. Now they might stay higher. You might have your Meat Hook Massacre staying pretty high. You might have Ren and 7, Teferi, and right now Arlen, right? Isn't that her name? Yeah, Arlen.
The Planeswalker.
Yeah, that she's third highest. She's higher than Teferi. I think Teferi might jump over her eventually. But those will definitely stay higher, but still, that's $193. Now, if you remember what I talked about with Strixhaven, that's $58. I did forget to add the Mystical Archives. That is something that does need to be added in there a little bit. But
Another thing that should be considered as well, like if you're looking for specific cards on specific decks, definitely just buy singles.
mm-hmm.
If you're looking to grow your collection, then like buying boxes is a good idea, but still I wouldn't go crazy with standard sets. You know what I mean? But also, like, you can get aggressive with the singles from sets that you like. So for me, I really like the latest Innistrad Midnight Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
I spent $100 on singles when I went into the car LGS that I went to,
Yeah.
and I hadn't done that in a long time. And I really like the set for Commander. I picked up multiples of rares, foils, and stuff like that. And the only cards I didn't get were those top tier cards. I didn't get Meat Hook. I didn't get, I didn't get the 4 that basically you
Teferi,
just stated. And I'm cool with them chilling and just like
Wait till
pick
they
them
come
up
down.
in rotation, or I don't need Meat Hook right now.
Right.
But like D&D, like I was saying, like I really didn't like the rolling dice mechanic. and so like a lot of that wasn't interesting to me. Like singles, I might have spent like $20-$30 on the set total.
Yeah, D&D had
And,
more
like-
dragons and stuff because that's my thing. So I went a little deeper. I'm waiting still on Midnight Hunt. I just bought that one bundle, and then now I'm gonna kind of wait a little bit till we
But
get to
it's
our
a-
next
it's-
set, and then we can. Then the prices will be down for this.
A few minutes later.
Fuck.
But yeah, so I don't. You were talking, but now I don't remember because we started talking about Garuk Dons.
Never remember. Okay, so I think it depends on card. There's a lot of things that come into buying and purchasing cards. Like sometimes you just really want a card. Like clearly a lot of people want Meat Hook Massacre because it was a $20 card
I do.
one day, and then it's $30-$40 card a couple days later, like basically over the weekend. And you're in a huge spike with that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
I think it'll come down. I think it'll come down.
I think it'll come down. I think it's a $20 card.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great henge thing where that sucker's just going to continue to go up. It's really good. It made our number one
really
for a
good.
reason.
Really, really good.
But it isn't a standard $40 card. That doesn't happen very often, you know.
And that's the thing is like you need to understand that just doesn't happen that often.
So okay, so overall consensus standard side. Standard, what you should do, honestly,
Singles.
the smartest thing to do is let standard come out, ignore that the standard set comes out, ignore that it even exists, and focus on the one that came out two times ago, 6 months ago. Not the last one, the one before, or even maybe the last one. Because now people have moved on to this one. That is the hype. Everything is really increased unless you find those smothering tithes mixed in there where you just got to identify that, but you don't know necessarily it'll go up. But the key is like right now, go over to Strixhaven and start picking up all those cards for fucking dirt cheap. And then maybe the next, the the vampire one that's coming out, Crimson Tide, I think it is. Go buy your D&Ds because that's probably going to be a lot cheaper. Now we're moved on to zombies and vampires and what are we in? We're zombies right now? No, werewolves and zombies and vampires. Oh my, that's what my joke was going to be. But I fucked it up. Yeah, it's like I totally fucked it up.
Kid can't even read.
No, that's just me.
It's the only button I actually know at this point. I should.
Your top left button should always be good for you.
True story, bro.
There we go. I should know that one too.
So let's move over to the special sets. So special sets are a fucking different monster. Those suckers. Here's one thing with standard stuff. Typically, you can get those boxes all year round. They take them off the shelves of your big box store or whatever. They're not at Target or whatever, but your LGS should have your standard stuff. The special sets typically are a limited time. They're not on the shelves for a year, year and a half, 2 years, unless they don't sell, unless they're shitty.
Unless they're Jumpstart.
Yeah, right. But the other part of the special sets is they are typically more expensive. Like it's just because they typically put better stuff in it. But it does have a shorter print run. It has a lot more value in those.
I guess that I would caution on special sets as well.
Mm-hmm. In that,
let's talk about the differences. Like Masters and Modern Horizons and Commander products, I think are really high quality sets. Conspiracy is really cool, and it's probably right around there. But like they get a couple of solid reprints, that you should be getting those singles.
Yeah.
But they got some wackadoodle stuff going on there, like voting, and you're like, well, that's a lot of shit I'm not going to use.
I guess what I'd say with the special sets is the ones that have heavy hitters in them, the big ticket stuff that's in them.
When everybody's really fucking excited.
Like people are excited for Battle Bond was amazing, but there really wasn't that much that was of value in them. I mean, they're good.
You go back and look, and it's kind of like, there isn't a whole ton there.
But the lands eventually jumped up there. I think didn't Battle Bond did it have doubling season in it? Was that where doubling?
Yes,
it did have doubling season in it.
So there was Battle Bond had some really like Battle Bond was probably worth it more than Conspiracy in my mind.
But it was still that borderline. I think you're hitting the nail on the head with that is that the Modern Horizons is a different animal.
Yes.
I thought
Double Masters,
yes. Ultimate Masters, I thought was also in that line. I think it kind of is, but now that we're further out with it, some cards. Although no, never mind. The box toppers have been going up like crazy because those are like the special stuff. But Commander Legends, I would consider in that list. Commander Legends had a lot of, and here let me do those breakdowns really quick. So did the same thing here. So we did Strixhaven, Dungeons and Dragons, Midnight Hunt. So we're working our way backwards to forward. So last year around this time, we had Double Masters come out. Right now, currently, you can get a box of that for $520.
Just a normal box?
A normal box. That's freaking insane. But remember, you're getting 2 rares, 2 whatever. There's double spots or whatever. Cards over $5. There are 75 cards over $5 currently in that.
Yeah.
Which values up to $1,600. So
it's a crazy good set.
Double Masters is insane. Commander Legends came out last winter, late fall, winter. So getting up to where we are now. I think it was November, December, because that's when we started the league.
Sounds right.
$113 a box right now you can get. There are 38 cards. There's still 38 cards that are over $5. Remember, 113. This is almost the same as our standard boxes over here. But there's $570 worth of value of those 38 cards that are over.
Just higher quality.
Yeah.
Like just those reprints. And it even tanks some really expensive cards.
And those are
before that too.
still,
and those are worth getting.
Right.
They're really good. And that's one of the things too, where like Commander Legends was geared towards us. And so even if it didn't have the value, I'd be more likely to buy into it because it has
Commander stuff. It's all Commander.
For me. Yeah. And
I'm fine having duplicates of good Commander stuff,
Yeah.
When it's a standard, I'll probably put this in a Commander deck, but it's not geared towards it. It's a little harder.
It's like it tanked the price of Burnish Heart from $2 to 30 cents. But Burnish Heart is playable.
Right.
Like,
and
I'm happy with that.
And it gave you a special version of that. The full art foils of that. I picked up a bunch of those, by the way. I shouldn't say a bunch. Five of them, because they're cheap.
True story, bro.
Sorry.
Oh,
Good for you.
I could do it
all right, so then, let's jump into the most recent. There's only a few months old. Modern Horizons 2. Currently, the boxes are going for $210, so that's double the price of Commander Legends. There are 25. This is what I'm actually coming in here indicating is that Commander Legends is still the way to go. 25 cards that are over $5, value of $530. So, but there's a lot of variations with Modern Horizons 2, with the etched, with the retro. I did not include all of those versions because I was like, let's just go with the basic set, because they're
not going to do math.
I did some math. I did some adding and counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25. But I didn't go into the fact that sometimes there was the foil etched and there was sometimes a full art and there was sometimes this, and because do you need another beer?
No.
Oh,
I was just shaking it to show that I'm done. And so when I'm going to do this, it's going to be empty. I'm going to be disappointed.
I did this actually ended up being all right when I finished it.
Nice.
That's not too bad. No, I wouldn't have another one. I'm done. I'm glad I'm having this one right now, the other beer. Okay, so $530 for 25 of the cards, $5. So right there, I mean, what it's telling me still though is Commander Legends. That's a fucking great buy, but that was
got a better
lacking inventory. But even still, all three of these are so much better to go for the boxes and crack those than try to spend $530 to get all the cards over the 25 cards over $5. Like, why not try to crack a box? Because you could hit some of those really big hitters. And that's the thing about the special sets is they have some really big hitters in them where it makes your box worth it. For example, with my collector Modern Horizons box, get ready for the good for you. I did hit the foil old border Urzas in that.
Oh, good for you.
So that made my box in the next box worth it. Like, it paid for that entire thing. I didn't sell it. I sold my old version of it, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like, the value was there. Whereas the standard stuff, you're not seeing it. And it's not even worth cracking those packs because your ticket's always going to be a loss. Where these, there's a better chance, a much higher percentage. Not saying you're going to, but there's a better chance.
I think one thing to look into when it comes to like a standard set is how insular is the set and how well does it work with other cards. So like, let's go look at Kaldheim, and I'm sure that just makes Gwen squirm a little bit, but, she corrects us on Discord all the time.
Kaldheim.
We don't even spell it right, I'm sure. But let's say like there's the snow sorceries and stuff like that. Like that didn't matter. Like it just didn't, it's not used a ton. It wasn't powerful enough. And a lot of that set is just not very good. Now, if you want to play snow stuff, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. But it's not even an Ice Fang Kotal level of cards for the most part when it comes to snow. There might have been like 2 or 3 cards that are worth playing in there.
Yeah.
But Strixhaven has a lot of really cool mechanics. Like spell mastery, whenever you play a spell or a copy, you get some type of effect. Like that works with so many different cards. So it just like works with a wide variety. And that at least brought me in. It was just like, you know what? This can fit in a lot of different places. But Keldheim just didn't work.
Unless you're playing
neither
Snow.
did the D&D set. Yeah, D&D set. Unless I'm fucking rolling dice on 40-year-old virgin, like he's overusing
Get
it.
ready. You're going to be rolling dice when Commander Legends D&D comes, buddy.
Yeah,
you're going to get those dice out. It's coming.
I hope they do a good job with that. But I'm not expecting much.
Oh.
And so
I
know.
Just wait. They did so amazing with Commander Legends the first time around. We'll see.
They did. They absolutely did. I was worried about that set too. So I can easily say that I was wrong.
But
I probably won't be.
You've been wrong a lot, Lowery. I've gotten some good ones on you. I don't remember what they were, but I forget them. Damn it, I need to keep track of it and be like.
That was like 2 years ago that we had that discussion now. So like,
oh yeah, it was Commander Legends, talking about a Commander Legends coming out. That's what it was. It totally was that.
Well, because it was after Secret Layer just started.
I think so.
Or was it even before that?
It might have been before. I just remember when we were recording that, I was in your basement. Like you weren't at my house.
Yeah.
So I was in the camper at that point. If I was in your basement. The only time I'm in your basement's when I'm in my camper. I don't even know what that means. It doesn't just sound.
It doesn't mean
sounds
anything.
sexy.
No, creepy. That was your creepy voice, right? What is your sexy voice?
That's
sound
what
like
I
that
talk
for?
to. Hey, baby, get ready. Get ready.
I just had a can of beans.
Get ready. It's a good thing we don't share covers because it stinks over here. I don't know. That isn't sexy. Why did you say the can of beans?
True story, bro.
Okay. So conclusion on special sets. Do we have a conclusion on special sets? Depends on the special.
I still buy singles.
He still buys. But I think
buying
there's
the boxes and the collector's boxes.
I think you have a better chance. And like you had mentioned before, gauge on what you're talking about with special sets. If you're conspiracy, kind of see what's in there. Fucking A. Of course, Modern Horizons 2 is going to be a hit. You have fetches in there. There's fetches. And then all the other stuff the new stuff is being used. Like, this is definitely better than Modern Horizons 1. I wish I would have gone as deep as I went. Saved my going deep on Modern Horizons 1. Although those cards eventually hit, it just took 2 years for things to start hitting on that. But yeah, so standard sets, buy singles. According to Lowery, special sets, buy singles. But you have a better
I'm a cheap ass.
You have a better chance of hitting some stuff in those. So that's
I wish I wasn't as much of a cheap ass because I would have bought like a collector's box of MH2.
It was fun.
Old borders, the foils, the etching. I like all of it. There's some really good, powerful cards. I wouldn't have mind buying that. I just didn't.
Yeah. You had all the cards besides like all the new stuff that they printed. So that's a little tougher too.
That's true. No.
All right.
Don't make excuses for me.
Now I got to find what are we doing on the last one? Oh, verses. Oh yeah. Where's my verses?
Excuse me. I believe you have my stapler.
Fight.
Staple verses. Last week we had Talisman versus Signet. Who do you think won there, Lowery?
Talisman, right?
You are correct, sir. 63% of the vote between Twitter and the Discord voted for Talisman, and 37 voted for Signet. What was your vote on last week's?
Talisman.
Yeah, Talisman. Just having that option
I'm able to vote on the Discord, so I am in on that.
I have to get it started, I have to vote on each. And then I was thinking about getting on one of my Twitter account and voting, but I would have voted. So it would have gone a little bit higher if I got to vote. But so you voted Talisman as well. So that's yeah. And what was your reason for why would you pick Talisman over Signet?
It's less dependent on other things.
Correct. I like about
and
it.
the damage hardly matters. And
Because it's situational. You might have your mana set, and you just need the colorless. You just need the colorless part of it, so you never need to use the one. Whereas early game, you're like, I need that color. You have 40 fucking life at that point. 1 damage does not matter at that point. So, yep, I agree. I did like your not argument, your point though about signets and using it with triple ups and stuff like that. The
double ups and triple ups.
I think that was a good point to add in there. But this week, what are we doing? What is our staple versus this week, Larry?
What do we say? Oh, we're doing. Oh, hold on. We're gonna go with Shocklands
What did we say?
versus Temples.
Oh, it's fantastic. What are we doing again? I'm so high
Here are my
right now.
notes.
I have no idea.
Here are my notes.
It's a
It says
blank
190 up there. Just so I know where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
Where am I? All right, so if we're doing Shocklands versus Scrylands. Okay, so let's go fetches first. So fetches. Shocks. There's my notes.
And
mine has fetch.
Let's talk
my
fetches
is on the
versus
beginning.
temples.
Yep. That's the first thing I have on shocks.
Okay.
Shocks are fetchable. That's
Fetchable.
probably the number 1 point for Shocklands.
I agree.
Again, having that choice that we just talked about with talismans. If you go early game, like for example, early game, if I'm crack my fetch and I'm going to search for a duel, if I don't need that mana that turn, I go to get the Shockland and I'm just like, okay, I'll put it into play tapped. But maybe late game, or maybe that's you don't have the regular duels. If you need them on tap, 2 damage is not that much. Just like 1 damage is not that much. If you can use it that turn, 2 damage is not that much early game stuff. So the fact that you can choose between tapped and untapped is pretty nice. Great mana fixing. It fits for both mana types. The negative I have on it is it's a bit expensive for lands when you
like money.
Yeah. Money wise, it's one of the more expensive ones when you're not talking the actual duels. And then
or fetches.
I did have cheapest option for duels and best option for duels if you don't have the original duels. You have anything else?
And so I would kind of disagree with that to certain degrees. So like when I fetch, let's just put it at a fetching level. I look at how many basics do I have, and if I have enough basics, I go and get the Battle for Zendikar dual lands.
Those are the ones that come into play tapped unless you have 2 or more
basics.
Okay.
Yep. And then if I don't have that, I either go like, do I care about them coming into play tapped or not? And then if I care about either of those, then I can go and get the dual. So a lot of shock value, like shocks come into play if you have fetches, have to have fetches. Or else they don't
matter.
Super good,
They don't
right?
really matter.
So they're dependent upon fetches and having availability to other fetchable lands on what is the best thing to go and get. And shock lands are basically, I go get them if they're coming into play tapped.
Mm-hmm.
Like if it's turn 1 and I want to go get a duel, I go and get a shock.
Yep.
Because I know if I ever draw a dual land, it can just come into play.
You don't have to worry about the 2 damage at that point. Yep, that's exactly how I play it too.
And so like I think shocks are very dependent on a lot of different things. They're good. But if you're not running
fetches, then there's no point in having. I mean, I wouldn't say there's no point. It's just like there isn't as big of a need for them as you would need.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move over to Scrylands. Scrylands. They always come into play tapped. You do not have that option.
Always. Yes.
They are not fetchable.
Correct.
Those are my only 2 negatives. Now we move down to the positives. The nice thing is it sets your top. So the Scryland comes in, you get to look at the top card. If it's not what you need, especially early game, freaking Scrylands are amazing because You need to know what you need to either know you're getting another land coming up, or you know what you need at that point.
Or like if you don't want that big fatty right now, or if you do, like
even mid and late game, that's still the same thing. It's always nice to scry, and they just come in and you're able to do that.
Like to me, it's the best come into play tapped land, like with no choice of, it just has to come into play tapped. So to me, like scrying is like drawing a half card. That I've heard. I think I heard like LSV saying that back in the day, and I agree, and I think it really, I love scry lands when it comes to those decks that have trouble drawing cards, essentially like non-blue, non-black, non-green. So if you're like green-white, as long as you're not blue, I think scry lands are fantastic.
Even if you are in blue, I would still play. I typically
still play them.
Yeah, if I have 2 colors or more, I'm playing scry lands as part of it. Because like you said, it's like a half draw. It helps a lot.
It's essentially worth the comes into play tapped. Because you are like, when it comes into play tapped, you are skipping a land drop turn, kind of. And so you need to consider that, like being able to, I don't want to run a lot of comes into play tapped lands, because like that can slow you down a turn. And if you're always behind a turn, you're time walking yourself to a degree. You don't want to be doing that during a game unless there's a benefit, like gaining 1 life. That's not worth it. Vivid meadow and all that kind of stuff, to have whatever color for 2 turns. If you're in 5 color and you got a shitty mana base, maybe that's worth it. But so most comes into play tapped lands are not worth it. Scry lands are top of the game.
Yep. I 100% agree with that. That I think the ones, for sure. All the ones that come into play completely tapped, you can have no choices with it. Scry is the best. The only thing that could top it is if it came into play tapped and you draw a card. Make those cards,
and so,
please.
Like, I kind of look at, so like scry lands are the top, like the best of the bad, and then the shock lands are kind of like the worst of the good.
You think?
Because I know you were saying like,
you think the worst out of the ones that are
personally
actually
like the Battle for Zendikar lands. They're not as bad as the Amonkhet cycle duels. Those aren't good. So
you're saying the worst out of the land type ones, the fetchable lands. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And the Amonkhet ones can be fetched, but they're not good.
Yeah. I'm not going to say describe, preference wise, I think is what I want to say here is
could be.
I prefer, like when I'm doing my mana fixing, it's OG duels, shock lands, and then I kind of just see where my mana base is at that point, and then it goes down to the next ones. I don't hit the Battle for Zendikar ones as much because a lot of times I go into like command tower and blah blah blah. And like I think part of it is I'm still getting used to playing. Like a lot of times we've had this discussion before where if I'm playing black green, I used to just only play the black green fetch. I wouldn't go get the fetch that has just green and it's white. I would do, but you kind of turned me into that. You turned me on to it, Lowery.
Yeah, baby.
Playing those fetches that allow you to search for one or the other, even though it doesn't fit the colors, because you can still do it that way because it does not have that in the text box. So I think you have more, you're used to doing fetches longer than I have been doing fetches. And so my typical is always got my duels, got my shocks. Okay, those are my guys that I can go fetch with my couple fetch lands I have, where now I'm spreading that out a little bit more. And I probably should be adding the BFZ lands so I can find those as well. But that, I guess it's just a preference thing. That's what I'm saying is like, shocks come second for me, whereas yours is flipped, where yours is duels, BFZ, shock lands, right? And that's kind of your order?
Yeah, probably. So here's an
And your
interesting
triomes.
question here. Then
Just kidding.
I don't know if I like. Oh, I guess those
I'm
would
kidding.
probably be the best comes into play tapped because they come into play tapped no matter what. They're pretty dang good. But what if their fetches weren't involved? Because fetches is a money barrier.
Yes.
And a round barrier, and so like
If
you didn't have fetches,
if fetches were not
would
involved,
would you even play shocks?
No. Well, yes, it gives you comes into play choosing if you want it untapped and tapped. That's what I like about the shocks. But I honestly, if you're not considering fetches, Scry lands are completely hands down my number one choice.
Well, because you also have like the Battle Bond lands, which also Commander Legends lands. You have the check lands. You have
Battle Bond lands.
Like,
is a good
so
point.
if you're not running fetches, so many more dual land types open up for what you got going on, and Scry lands become so much better as well.
Well, that's what I was
whereas
gonna
shock lands
yeah.
become just kind of down with the pack at that point.
But we are considering, and that's where it's going to be dependent on what people with voting and stuff like that is. I don't say even with fetches being in there that shocks are hands down the pick here. Because I like the Scry lands a lot. Like you get those early, mid, late game, they're always good. Shock lands might not always be good. I mean, they're a good land to have, but late game, it might not matter if it comes into play untapped or tapped. But that 2 life, again, it's not that much early, mid, late game, or late game it matters, but mid game it probably doesn't as much. The last thing I had was, it's the same thing we've been talking about. Just like a corner case. The Scry lands can help with like setting your top. If you have certain things that count on what your top is doing, it is a great card to kind of help a deck do that. So for example, your Rico does certain things. You need your top to be a certain way. There's a lot of other cards where you're playing off the top. What's her name? So the Augur of Autumn. If you want the top to be a land, you look at the top card and you're like, that's not a fucking land. I need it to be a land. Put that on the bottom. Oh, now my next one's a land. You can play it. So like, there's a lot of things you can do with the manipulating the top a little bit. So that was my last point with Scryland.
I think that's a good one.
So,
but Victus Asmati is like that, just playing big stuff off the top. I like them. I like temples in 3, 2, and 1 color if you're white, because there is New Benalia, which is like a Scryland,
and the blue Helmar Depths.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That
too.
doesn't Scry; it
I
just
would
does
put
the
that in
3 kind of. But
you get to set your top that way. So, but Shocklands end up going in 4 and probably 5 color decks, a lot easier as well. So like the versatility there comes with the power of Shocklands, and like if you're playing too many tapped lands, that means you don't have a good enough mana base. And so like if you're in 5 colors and you're running all 10 temples, you're going to be a slow deck.
I would just say build a better deck. I would just say build a better deck.
I'm glad the button said that. Glad that you could read my mind there. Appreciate that.
That button just reminds me of when Jeremy was playing Walls, and you're like, "Why the fuck are you playing Wall? Why are you playing the Wall of Stone?"
Yeah.
And then you later like said, "Actually, it makes sense that you played that." I don't remember what the reason was, but it was.
Yeah. No, we had the conversation. I'm open to conversations. You're
just like, I just don't play bad cards.
I don't know if you even noticed this because I had him open it later, but when he graduated to become the Anise.
Yep.
What he's doing now?
Yeah.
The drugging people at hospitals.
If I wasn't 3 beers.
Anesthesiology?
No, it's anesthesiologist.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I probably even said it wrong because of the 3 drinks.
I gave him a card and I gave him every wall of stone that I
Oh,
owned.
did you really? That's awesome.
And so I had a fat stack of like 8 to 12 of them in there. And he laughed. Jackie said nothing. She was like,
I don't get it. And then there was a card in there that said this.
I would just say build a better deck.
Oh boy.
That's my new favorite button.
So I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So what would you rather play?
Woo.
Again, it's what would you rather play, not necessarily what's better.
Right.
But what would you
rather play? You have one spot left. You can either choose a Shockland or a Scryland. What would you rather play?
Yep.
So check out Twitter, vote there if you're part of the Discord. Also vote on the Discord, or as guess what our part of our Discord says is Twitter is evil and it's just a bunch of hate. I don't disagree. It's just
I don't either.
For us, it's the void. It's basically everybody that's voting on our Discord is also going on Twitter and voting on Twitter that have a Twitter account.
How about this? Everybody that if you go to Twitter and you vote and you leave a message saying move over to Instagram and we get like 30.
Oh,
we get 30 messages saying
then we'd start
move to Instagram. We will. We'll quit Twitter right now.
I wouldn't say we quit it, but we'll add Instagram.
I'm done with it.
Fuck this.
I'll go to IG.
Oh, damn it. We're gonna have to
Gram.
We're going to have to learn Insta. Isn't that how the kids say it?
Insta? I don't know. I've heard it's IG, the Gram, Insta. I thought Insta was Instacart.
No,
right?
What's Instacart?
I thought that was a shopping thing at like Target.
Oh, that's what is it? It's not Instacart, is it? Oh, my phone's right there, so I can't check it. I have it.
I don't.
We sound old. What's that
But
Insta
30.
stuff?
If we reach 30 messages saying switch to Instagram, we will.
Not by the
And
same
it has to be
person.
different, yeah. Different people.
All right. So that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
See you later.
No, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Sega.
I love boobs. I'm talking toss.
I'm
I
sorry.
love boobs. I'm bunkers for honkers.
I was waving.
Love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love